You know, every great business starts with that aha moment, that little spark of an idea. But how do you really know if that spark is going to grow into a roaring fire or if it's just going to fizzle out? Well, the difference, more often than not, comes down to one absolutely crucial process: market research. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it works. So, you've got the idea, right? You've got the passion, you've got the drive. But hold on, before you go investing a single dollar or even an hour of your precious time, that idea has to pass its very first and probably most important test. And this is the question, isn't it? This is the one that keeps every single entrepreneur up at night. Because let's be honest, a product without any customers, well, that's just a hobby. Answering this one question is absolutely everything. And that is not an exaggeration at all. This isn't just some box you check off a list. No, this is the very foundation you're going to build your entire business on. If you get this right, you have a real shot at success. But if you get it wrong, well, even the most brilliant idea in the world is probably going to fail. Okay, so how do we start finding those all-important answers? Now, you've probably heard people use the terms market survey and market research like they're the same thing, but they're really not. So let's clear up the difference right now. Here's a good way to think about it. A survey is like taking a single photograph. It captures just one little moment in time. Market research, on the other hand, is the entire documentary film. See, a survey is just one tool in your toolbox. Market research is the whole project plan, from the initial strategy all the way to the final analysis. And this is our focus today. Market research isn't about guesswork or just relying on your gut feelings. Nope. It's a systematic, step-by-step process for understanding the world your business is about to enter, who your customers really are, what they actually need, and where you're going to fit in among all the competition. So, what does this systematic process actually look like? Well, you can think of it as a 6-step blueprint that's designed to take you from a simple question all the way to a data-backed action plan. And here it is, the blueprint. Take a look at the flow here. You start broad, right? First, you define your purpose. Then, you look at information that's already out there before you spend your own time and money collecting new data. It's only after all that you analyze everything to find the real story and turn it into a solid strategy. And this brings us to a really key trade-off you need to understand. You're always going to start with secondary data. Think industry reports, articles, existing stats. It's fast and it's cheap, but to get answers about your specific idea, you're going to need primary data. That's the info you collect yourself through your own surveys or interviews. It's perfectly tailored to you, but yeah, it's going to cost you more in both time and money. At the end of the day, all this data collection has one simple goal: to answer the fundamental questions of any business. Who is my customer? What are they actually willing to pay for this? And what's the best way for me to get it in front of them? Okay, so you've done the research, you've answered those big questions. Now what do? Well, now you get to transform all that raw data into a coherent strategy, something we often call the marketing mix. This strategy is built on the 4 classic P's of marketing, and your research directly informs every single one. What features should your product have? Well, those customer interviews will tell you. What price can you set? Your competitor analysis gives you that baseline. Where should you sell it? The place. Your data shows you where your customers are already shopping. And how are you going to promote it? You'll know exactly which channels your target audience actually pays attention to. And then those 4 Ps become the beating heart of your formal marketing plan. You can see how it all starts to click together, right? You start with your research, you define your target customer, you analyze where you stand, set some goals, and then boom, you lay out your strategy using the 4 Ps. Now, all this theory sounds great, but let's make it real. Let's make it tangible. We're going to take a look at a simple business plan for a brand new sports retail store, just to see how all this works in practice. So let's meet our entrepreneur. His name is Ramesh Sharma, and his goal is super simple, very relatable. He just wants to make a good living doing something he's passionate about. His market research is what's going to tell him if that's even possible. And here's his research in action. See, Ramesh didn't just obsess over his own idea. He went out and studied his competitors. He found that Olympus Sports, great location, but totally impersonal. And 2 Seasons, it's cheap, but it's in a bad spot and the shop is tiny. This right here is where opportunity lives. So, what does Ramesh do? He uses that competitor research to build his own unique advantage. He's going to offer that expert personal service the big store is missing. He's going to leverage his status as a local football celebrity to build ties with the community. He's not just selling stuff, he's solving the problems his competitors are creating for their customers. And his research clearly defined exactly who to focus on. He's not trying to sell to everybody, no. He's targeting very specific groups: school-age kids, young adults, and the local sports clubs and schools. Now, every single marketing dollar he spends will be spent with these people in mind. Now, that is the power of focused research. And that's really the whole journey, from a fuzzy idea to a focused, data-driven strategy. Look, market research doesn't give you a guarantee of success. Nothing does. But what it does give you is a fighting chance. It turns a dream into a blueprint. And the only question left is, what are you going to build?